What's going on, guys? It's Onelegend Toxic Reaper here, and today I am talking more about the Prot Warrior tanking guides that are going on in these later days. And I just wanted to come at you guys because before I told you guys Mastery was basically the way to go. Now I have been doing a good amount of research, and I've been looking on elitist chirks and the forums, and what I have discovered is that CTC cap is, it's very important, right? We want to be CTC cap because obviously that means we're blocking, parrying, or dodging every single attack, or obviously missing. And that's what we want to strive for. Now, my guild, we are 2 of 8 right now in heroic difficulty 25, man. We got Yorsage to about 25%. And what we are finding out is that, or what I am finding out, excuse me, is that CTC cap is, yes, it is important, but it's almost like we get hit so hard that it's almost pointless. Not in the idea that fights are all melee damage and that's why it's pointless, but in the idea that for a fight like Yorsage, when you get 3 stacks of the debuff, it's ticking for 100k. And for a fight like that, CTC cap is almost void. We actually had to switch a DK tank for that fight due to the fact that I just couldn't take the hits. It's just that fight, it hits so hard. So let me tell you my thinking process and what I am kind of doing to change up my gear to get a little bit extra stamina out of everything. So for Yorsage, I'm using mirror broken images because that's almost a requirement for tanks. So paladins, warriors, druids, anybody out there, if you guys have this trinket, I 100% suggest using it for heroics Yorsage because it helps just utterly. It's another cooldown. And for this fight is just warriors are not the best tank for this fight. This is just a fact. We're not the best spell. We're not that great at taking spell hits. I mean, we have Shield Reflect, but that's about it. And then when it comes to cooldowns, we have Last Stand, we have Enraged Regen, and we have Shield Wall, all with a pretty long cooldown, even when Shield Wall isn't glyphed. So at the current moment, we are not the best tanks for Yorsage. Here's the reason why. Blood DKs, they can stack their blood shield over the extent of the fight. So in our case, we have a paladin tank and our DK tanking now. So while the paladin tank tanks first, our blood DK has time to stack a blood shield so that when he does pick up the boss, the stacks do not actually hit him that hard. That, and he also has AMS, and he has this trinket, and he has all his other cooldowns. So as you can see, it's a lot easier for a DK to take spell hits than a warrior, and this has been known for quite a while. Now, what I have gone and attempted to do with my gear is I have stacked a little bit more stamina. As you can see, I have a lot more stamina. In most slots, I actually have just straight stamina. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep my CTC cap as close as I can. As you can see, I am not CTC capped right now. But what I am doing is I am using Mastery Food, I am taking into account Battle Shout, and all that good stuff. So I'm actually about 2%, 3% off from CTC cap, I believe, while still getting that extra stam. Now, I have seen tanks do 1 to 2 things in the late game these days. Two tanks that I've looked at, both are 8 out of 8 heroics. So obviously this could change a little bit from my standpoint, due to the fact that they obviously have 8 out of 8. But the tank that I looked at, he doesn't have full heroic gear. He only has a couple pieces here and there, so it was as close as I could get to a reasonable area, if you will. So what he did was he stacked straight stam, 100%, except for 3 gems, I believe it was, to satisfy the meta and a socket bonus. But rather than that, straight stamina, and then 2 mastery trinkets to get as close to block, or to get his block up as high as he could, because obviously block scales the best with mastery, right? Instead of dodge or parry, how it doesn't scale as much. Now, he is nowhere near CTC cap. He's about 10% off. Now, as we all know, this is, I mean, that's a lot. You know, you're pretty far away. But, like I said, he's also 8 out of 8. So I don't know the reason for that, but obviously I'm not 8 out of 8, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. The reason that I think is because basically he's probably just made to take spellcaster hits. Because at the moment, I can't. Getting hit for 100k on a fight like your Saj, where a purple buff is out, and you can only be healed 5 times, it's very difficult to take that kind of damage. Especially as a warrior, even with shield wall up. Now, the second way that I see warriors go is what they do is they gem full mastery and stam. You know, just basically the way I was telling you guys to go. Now, that was basically these 3 gems right here in my chest. The 50 mastery, 25 parry, 25 mastery, 25 mastery, and 37 stamina gems. This is basically how you would gem for everything, but instead of using 2 mastery trinkets, you would use 2 stam trinkets. So as you can see, it's kind of the same thing where you're using mastery in your gems and then 2 stams, or stamina in your gear and then 2 mastery trinkets. Now, the one thing that I believe I would, I think I would want to do is I would want to gem stamina. To be honest, here's my reasoning behind this. The Mirror of Broken Images, the use on this trinket is insane. It just straight insane. The amount of damage reduction that you get from the resistances is stupid. It's basically a second shield wall for basically any tanking class. So that allows warriors to take, you know, those spell hits. So that's the one reason why I believe that this is the better way to go. Now, if you're looking for a trinket, as you can see, I have the Heroic Indomitable Pride here. Now, as you can see, the equipped is, you know, whenever you go below 50%, you get a shield, right? Now, there is a trinket from Firelands, if you guys were not in Firelands at the time. There's a trinket with basically the same equipped, that is straight mastery on it. So, if you still want, you know, that equipped, you could get the Heroic Trinket out of Firelands and still keep your equipped and have 2 mastery trinkets if you would like to go down the stamina route. Now, I have been trying to do as much research as I possibly can. I have been constantly looking at elitist jerks. I have been sitting on the forums, and I have not yet found a 100% surefire way. But I do believe that stamina with mastery trinkets is the way to go for warriors at the moment, just because of how much damage we take from fights like your Saj. So I believe that is the way to go. Now, there is a flip side to this, right? Fights like, you know, like the first boss of Dragon Soul, right? He hits really freaking hard because you have a 100% damage increase coming on you during the fight whenever he does his stomp. So that's the time that you need that CTC cap. But if you have the healers to heal through it, it's not as necessary. So if you're past that fight and you don't really need the gear for it, then I would suggest still going down that stamina route. But, I mean, spell casting is why we're dying, I feel, at the moment. That is the reason why I think we're having a lot of issues staying alive, or at least I am. I don't know about your guilds, but that is what I am encountering. For fights like I've said before, your Saj, we get hit really, really, really hard. So that is just kind of my mindset right now. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys with what is going on and what is going through my head with Prot Warriors, and what I believe is, you know, kind of the way to gem and enchant your gear. Well, not enchant, but the way to gem your gear and what kind of trinkets to use. Because at the moment, it's really kind of up in the air with the trinkets, right? Like, you know, I mean, you don't really know what trinkets to use at certain times. But I am dead set, guys. I am dead set on Mirror of Broken Images. This trinket, excuse me, this trinket is just the epitome, I believe, of cooldowns. It's kind of sad that a 359 trinket is the way it is, but to be honest, the trinket is amazing. The use on it is just insane. The amount of damage reduction that you get on it from, any spell-casted spell in Dragon Soul is almost completely negated. Now, let me kind of go back into this. Like I said before, CTC cap, right? Fights like Hagara, when she does her frenzy. Keep in mind that I am not the one tanking that fight. I actually go arms for that fight. If you guys have not watched Jesse's video, I am the arms warrior that we are doing the dual screen with. That was me. So keep that in mind, that I'm not the one that's tanking those fights. So CTC cap is not as important for me because I'm not tanking the fights that require it. But CTC cap, I still believe, is very, 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 very important. I mean, you are pushing basically just regular attacks off the board 100%. Because, I mean, that's the idea that we want to do, right? We want to completely push off getting an unmitigated hit onto us. We want to completely get rid of that. That is our hopes and dreams, right? Now, this is just, the way that I'm thinking, is that stamina is the way to go for us. Now, I'm kind of like sitting in the middle right now because I'm still not 100% sure about what I want to do, but this is working out for me very well. I'm still getting a good amount of health. I'm almost about 135, 140k health, or sorry, wow, 340k health, buffed in raids. So, that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. Let's see, what else is there to go over? Dodge and parry. Make sure that you want to keep your parry above your dodge. Now, I am hearing a couple things, is that you want to keep your dodge over your parry, due to the fact that your battle shout and all that other stuff gives you, more parry, so that, diminishing returns doesn't mess you over. But to be honest, guys, like, I would still keep parry over your dodge. Just due to hold the line, the talent. Here, I'll show you guys, in case you don't know. Hold the line, increase your critical strike and critical block chance by 10% for 10 seconds following a successful parry. So I would still keep your parry above your dodge. It's just my thoughts at the moment. Yeah, so I'm using the Heroic Abdominal Pride, and I'm using Mirror of Broken Images. The only gear that I have gotten since the last video is the neck, and that is it. Oh, and the trinket, of course. But that is it. I'm actually going to stick with the Bronze Blaster due to the fact that it has parry mastery, and the thrown weapon from the Valor isn't exactly, it doesn't have, what I really want on it. Yeah, I get the increased stamina, but right now I'm trying to scrape as much mastery together as I can to get at least near CTC cap, but still get as much stamina out of my gear, so I'm not getting like 3-shot by Yorsage. Sorry. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave in the comments below. I'm continuing to do as much research as I can. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions on what I should do, or if you have any thoughts or opinions on maybe I said something that you believe is incorrect, please feel free to correct me. I am trying to do as much research as I can to give you guys the correct information. This is what I have come up with after looking over multiple tanks, after looking over multiple threads. So please feel free to tell me what you guys think, and if maybe I should be going straight for that mastery. Tell me what's going on. But this is what I believe at the moment is the way to go for me as tanking on my warrior, due to the fact that we are actually progressing on Yorsage, and he hits really hard, and every other spellcaster just kind of destroys me. So, like I said before, if you guys have any ideas, thoughts, please tell me. I am more than willing to listen to feedback. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And I hope you all have an awesome day. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.